es la voz de LA. It's la Cuna Galaxiana, come and kick it with us. I bring the bossa nova beats and talk the club that we love. Another year to adjust, and Will Kuntz we all trust. 6 titles in the cabin, tell the haters shut up. Mirar al horizonte con el cielo morado. Llegamos al estadio como siempre lo hago. Ves la nueva temporada, ya cumplí 30 años. Rezándole a San Pequi que no dé al travesaño. Que repartan los balones y no sean tacaños. Que regrese el contraataque y que le hagamos daño. Un saludo para Robert, hermanos ecuatorianos. Que la táctica de Ananda nunca sean en vano. Si se trata de mi gala me levanto temprano. Ver el fur en verano, en el pasto tumbado. Siempre estoy a tu lado, en cualquier resultado. Vamos Galaxy, on top is where I gotta be. Chilling in the canopy, staging like a winery. Goals during rivalries, brew from the refinery. Only want the finer things, we letting you know. Lo que pasa en la galaxia, ready, let's start the show.
Hello, hola, and buenas, and welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, a podcast always made with love for all you LA Galaxy fans, all you MLS sickos, all you soccer fanatics. Man, we are welcoming you here today because on today's episode, it's a very warm welcome to Season 4 of La Cuna Galaxiana. That's right. We have not gotten canceled yet, and we're back for another season of Galaxy coverage and MLS soccer coverage. Plus, you throw in a little World Cup in there as well and everything in between. And yes, it is go time, everyone. It just got real as we are now in game week. That's game week 2 times, actually, as the Galaxy opens their MLS season at home on Sunday, February 22nd against NYCFC. But first things first, they will open their competitive season in the CONCACAF Champions Cup against Sporting San Miguelito on Thursday, February 19th at 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll bring you your match preview and give you everything you need to know ahead of this first Galaxy match of the season, an away trip to Panama. We'll be joined by MC and lyricist Arquitekto Verbal, who will be here to help preview the beginning of the Galaxy's journey toward continental glory, and look at what the G's need to do to get a result in Central America. Plus, it's the debut of the Season 4 theme song, La Orbita, brought to you by our guest of the evening. All that and more coming up on tonight's episode of La Cuna Galaxiana. But before we go any further, let me introduce myself. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rob Halone. You can find my written work at the Sporting Tribune and myself online at El Escudero de LA. And I am here, so you know he's here as well. Anandita Quiriana, otherwise known as El Gitano Perdido y El Yerno Guapo. And most importantly, El Papá de Natita. It's here, man. It's game week.
Season 4, man. It's here. Finally, it's felt like it's been a weird off season for me. Like it felt like it went by slow and then it just picked up like out of nowhere. And now we're here. It's go time. Like these games now actually matter. No more closed door, no more CVI, no more games, moral victories or anything like that. It's go time, Papa. It's go time. Let's get it. And it's Season 4 of La Cuna Galaxiana. I can't believe it. We haven't gotten canceled. What a feat.
It is Season 4, and you know what, man? Just a hearty shout out to chat. Californianos, Cuneros, sound off all up in the chat. Let us know where you're saying hello from. Yeah, I mean, it is Season 4, so that is the last time you are going to hear that intro theme music. It's a banger, man. Every time, even if I was having like a bad day, even coming into the pod, I had something on my mind, like, that track would help me kind of get centered and kind of, have fun with it and get into the flow of a show. What, man? It's la buena música, right? But we have a banger to replace it, and we have the man who created it here with us tonight. We'll get to him in a little bit. But yeah, man, we want to say thank you to everybody who's here right now, joining us on this Season 4 journey, man. And it's everything is new. The road to redemption, the stairway to 7, it's on, baby. It's here. If you're here with us, we do want to say thank you. We're on the road to 800 subscribers. We're 13 away. Man, if you got to, grab your brother's phone or something like that and hit subscribe on that, we're not going to hate. We would appreciate it. And then Ananda will take a shot with you. So, but anyway, go ahead and let all your folk know about this humble little podcast and help us get to 800. Super chats are now available as well. If you got something to say, if you got something to get off your chest, if you got, some kind of glowing compliment to throw Arquitekto Verbal's way, you know what it is, man. Hit up those super chats. And if you're watching on Instagram and X, we do appreciate it. That's love. I mean, like we honestly could not ask for more, except for you guys jumping on real quick and hitting that like and subscribe on YouTube, which helps us out immensely. So Ananda, do you got anything else to add before we get all up into the nitty gritty of shout outs?
No, you pretty much covered a lot of it. So guys, we were so close, by the way, to 800 subs. So if you have not yet, I think we're like 10, 11, 12 away, something like that. But if you guys can help us get there right before the end of the season. It is we're on the precipice now of this new season. Help us get there. If you have not yet, go ahead and give us a subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you know when awesome guests like Arquitekto are on. And you know what? Just too many people to shout out. We've had some amazing guests. I know Rob is working hard for you guys to get us some very good, informative guests. Shout out Charlie Boehm, who was our esteemed guest last time. I thought he brought out some really, really interesting insight. Rob, like there's a couple quotes definitely that stuck with me. We might talk about that a little bit today. And of course, guys, you can always follow me, block me, or stalk me at Cuna Galaxiana.
Stock this full. It's season 4 already.
All of our socials at Cuna Galaxiana. Handles on your screen there on the bottom of Rob's side of the screen. And you covered everything else, Papa. So, como siempre, antes de olvidarme, buenos días, tardes o noches. Y bienvenidos a la cuarta temporada de la Cuna Galaxiana.
Yeah, man. Amazingly, we made it this far. We really did not get canceled. It's a goddamn miracle. And we're here. Estamos aquí, Papa. Raza vivimos y seguimos. And, it's amazing that we've, been able to meet so many amazing people on the way. It's crazy. One of those is, our guest that's going to be on. He was actually our first guest ever on this podcast. And so he tiene jerarquía, este señor, and he's got mad love, obviously, with the Jeets community. So, of course, I'm talking about our friend Arquitekto Verbal, who's going to be having a show pretty soon. Not only are you supporting him, but you're supporting live music, man, and fellow G Pacheco Bates. That's March 6th at 9 p.m. at 419 East 11th Street. Obviously, Big Arc is here. He'll be here to tell us more and let us know what we can expect at that show. But if you want to get more information, go ahead and hit up his socials, and you can go ahead and connect with them that way. Happy belated Valentine's Day to all you cuneros and all you G's out there, man. Like I feel pretty bad that I missed saying it to you guys, but I was tickled pink with some of these. I mean, I like this. Your love came just in time. I mean, that's great. I mean, like the Real Hack 2 doing it already. Every kiss begins with Klauss. Okay, I see you, Big Klauss. Man, there was the Nacimiento one, which was class. Ananda, I don't know if you got that one.
No, sorry, man. There was a lot of them. There was a lot of them to pull up. Like I don't know.
Oh man,
the
Nacimiento one was class. I don't remember what it was, but it was like somebody in chat, please look it up what the Nacimiento one said, because that one was class. The Mickey one too was great. Like those especially were like my two favorites.
Nací por tu amor.
Nací por tu amor.
Mickey, my heart melt.
Mickey, my heart melt. But you also got to see, like, I mean, guys, when you have a chance, go to the Galaxy socials and check out how cute he is, man. Because man, it's great. Anyway, I loved these. I love the fact that they don't take themselves too seriously and they can do stuff like this. But yeah, this is pretty awesome. Best Valentine's Day they could ever give us is a win on Thursday, a win on Sunday. But I digress.
Yes,
Kobe Jones man, what can you say about this guy
Leyenda.
that hasn't already been said in superlative, man? Like, this guy is a legend of the U.S. men's national team and the Galaxy. Obviously, he's getting that statue soon. He deserves it. The Galaxy is in a Kobe love fest right now, obviously, because he's going to get the statue, right? And they're putting out all this good content about Kobe, and they just dropped 13 iconic moments. I'm assuming it's throughout Kobe's career, and because then you get into his career as an executive and stuff like that, and as an owner. But anyway, most caps, U.S. men's national team with 164, and member of the 1992 U.S. Olympic team. Those are just some of these highlights that you see in 13 iconic moments. So check that out, guys. Marvin, I already told you, man. You know where to come get that hug, man. You know. Come on, hugs for everybody. But when I see you guys on Sunday, that hugs for everybody. Guys, the Galaxy announced they're doing a soccer celebration for the World Cup. This is a free fan experience that's going to be going down in Long Beach, at the Digs, and at Hermosa Beach. This is going to be a pretty big affair. Players are going to be there. Alumni appearances are happening. They're having youth-specific programming, giveaways, limited edition merch, and stuff like that. And this one happens in Long Beach for the group stage from June 11th to the 27th. The round of 16 is at Galaxy Park, starting 4th of July through the 7th. The semifinals and the bronze final and final in Hermosa Beach on July 14th through the 19th. And then separately, the Galaxy will also have a FIFA World Cup 2026 watch party match viewings. I'm not really sure how they're doing this, but they said that more details are coming up. Ananda, we've already been talking about it, man. It's bloomin' LA Galaxy game week, man. It's finally here after months, after preseason matches, after just the terrible season that was last year and no playoffs. Like, it's finally here again. The slate is wiped clean, y'all. There's a reason to believe. There's hope. There's a redemption knocking at their door, and especially with the shady salt that these pundits are throwing, I think these boys need to rise to the occasion. But we'll get into all of that. And like I said, since it is game week, it's 3 days till the first match. 6 days until the MLS home opener, which means Champions Cup on the 19th, MLS against NYCFC on the 22nd. Ananda, you were gonna interject with a little something.
No. I was just looking at that. Yeah, welcome back, Galaxy. 3 games in 6 days. Boom. And you got to fly to Panama the first day. So
ooh, don't you love it? Don't you love it?
And that's why we're gonna get into the lineups later. But I got a little thought about the lineup and how Greg's gonna manage this. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, you're already talking about how can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Something happened to your camera, but don't worry. We'll try to get that fixed.
Oh man,
on stage.
Season 4 is off to a good start, y'all.
You're getting canceled now for sure.
All right, guys. So anyway, where was I? So yeah, 4 games in the first 9 days, and it comes in hot. Like, the very first match of the season at home had an exclusive T-shirt. It was so hyped. It had an exclusive T-shirt in collaboration with Jeff Cole that is now sold out. So if you didn't get your Jeff Cole T-shirt, well, sorry. I mean, it's kind of too late now. But anyway, hopefully you did get it. If you did get it, let us know. We would love. Oh, there I am. Hey, camera works again. If you did get it, let us know. I particularly want to see like the thickness of this T-shirt, right? Because it's supposedly with like a well-known designer and stuff like that. So I want to know like how well made this T-shirt is. Ananda, as a fine purveyor of T-shirts yourself, I know you're going to be looking at thread counts and stuff like that. So
that 350 GSM. Anyways, if you know, you know.
Well, if you're pulling up to this event, Locura at the Lab, then you got to have a starchy white tee or jersey. This is the home opener rally happening on Saturday, February 21st from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Graph Lab. Your supporter groups in 121 and beyond are going to be there. The Outlaws, the Galaxians, and ACB is going to be there. All G's are welcome. It's sure to get fun, sure to get rowdy. I've mentioned this a couple times. I love events at the Graph Lab. It just seems like its own little world, but at the same time seems like a little intimate, and and it's good vibes there. Didn't mention ACB. They are throwing an effing hardcore show at the home opener. Like literally, like they're having a hardcore show out there. Barrio Slam's going to be there. Cienfuegos and Bastos is going to be pulling up to lot 13. If any of those boys have listened to the show, or anybody here that knows those boys, like, let us know. We would love to talk to them and find out more about these bands. I'm not cool enough to really know about them, but we would love to find out more. But so that's going down at the pregame, as well as Lars having bands at their pregame. Their flyer just says beer, voices, and hands. Hopefully that means no one's throwing hands, just like, they're just like raising up hands. That's probably better. But yeah, man, live bands starting at 4 p.m. This is always a good time. Shout out to Lars and El Presidente Mike over there on that side. He's in here, y'all. Supporter groups are now their memberships are now open, guys. We've talked about pretty much all the supporter groups. Sans, our Primo, Big Matt with comments, and shout out to them as well. Their memberships are also open. So go ahead and show them some love. But your supporter groups, guys, like, the only way this team feels that like organized supporter group love is when people get involved. So go ahead and check out an event here, an event there, and see who your tribe is. I know that when I wasn't covering the team, and I was just going to games, that everybody was super opening, super welcoming, and it was a great time no matter where I was. So yeah, man, go search out your tribe, and like I said, especially we want to show a little love to El Primo Matthew here. Guys, we do have as well to tell you about the LA Riot Squad watch party for the game against San Miguelito. That's going to be happening at the Boulevard Gastro Pub on the 19th at 5 p.m. That's in Compton at 4309 East Compton Boulevard. And then we've already told you guys a couple times about the Absolution Brew watch party. That is now the LA Galaxy official watch party for this match. This is obviously going down as well on Thursday, 2/19. This is a tap room takeover. You're supposed to see, some Star Squad members and stuff like that out there. Game kicks off obviously at 5 p.m. There's a variety of other G-centric events around Los Angeles this week. On Tuesday, 2/17, 15% off at Proudly Serving Hermosa. On Wednesday, 2/18 through Friday, 2/20, $5 scarves at the LA Galaxy team store. If you buy anything at the LA Galaxy team store, then you get a $5 scarf. So I thought that was pretty awesome. Then on 2/20, you get 2 free tacos for the first 150 fans at Vias Tacos. Yes, that Vias Tacos that was in the Super Bowl show with Benito. Yep, they're serving up G's with free tacos at their Highland Park location, open at noon. So Schnaps, I mean, I'm guilty of this myself. I'm a Latino who gets late everywhere, but if you're late, you're gonna miss these tacos. So first 150 fans, and then on 2/21, various discounts within Steelcraft Bellflower when you wear your LA Galaxy merchandise. So go ahead and check out the different events there. Guys, LA Galaxy Media Day was upon us as well. This one was kind of cap here because I wasn't invited to media day, and I know that a lot of our colleagues are invited to media day, but I don't know if this is maybe like an internal league media day or something like that. But yes, I wasn't there, and I hope to rectify that for next year. But anyway, Ananda, some of these media day graphics were classic, man. My some of my favorites were Cosmo to start off with. I mean, he was class. Cuevas, on his favorite foods, he said that his favorite food was sopes, and he put my mom's sopes, which was really cute because that this tracks. I see his family at pretty much every match, and so it tiene sentido que al chaval le guste comida casera de mamá. Peck, his favorite food that he stated was In-N-Out. I know a lot of you G's out there can confirm, have seen Gabby Peck at In-N-Out. What's up?
JP too.
Yeah, JP too, but but Peck, specifically In-N-Out. And like I said, I know a bunch of you G's can confirm. And then Tucker, for his favorite food, put brunch. But what I thought was more interesting was that on his board, it didn't say Tucker. It said Tuxie. I was like, oh, Tuxie, that's cute. And man, like that when I saw him at the CVI, he was just amazing Tucker, just really, really friendly and welcoming and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I don't know if like I'm so bold as to, say, hey, Tuxie, what's up at like a press conference.
And favorite artist Giveon, by the way. R&B is not dead, sir.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like, I was gonna comment as well.
Shout out LBC.
Well, I was gonna comment on Harbor Miller, man. Like, he knows ball as well as I guess, because he was throwing out that Daniel Caesar as his favorite musical artist. And so I was like, okay,
kids are getting down with the R&B. I'm down with that.
That's and I was like,
now you're speaking to me. Now you're speaking to my generation.
Ooh, I was like, Harbor getting real sensual with it, baby. Ooh, right on, Harbor.
I'm sure Art gets down with all that stuff too, man. That's like our people's right there.
Oh,
like
old
92.3 The Beat. Whew.
Ooh, well, the thing is, man, you don't even know. Like, I've delved into Arquitecto's back catalog, and he could tell you about this sometime, man. But like, he has some like softer stuff. He has some softer stuff for that's like older than I'm like, okay, man, okay. It's on like the new Jabba's tip and stuff like that. I'm like right on, man. Yeah, no, I think we've actually talked about it here on this pod, but he can come on and remind us, because really you got to mess with the whole discography, not just this new theme song that we're gonna drop tonight. Somebody that I, we were talking about Harbor, we were talking about Tucker, their musical choices. Chris Rindov, his musical choice was Drake, man, and doesn't he know like this Los Angeles? We mess with Kendrick, baby. Come on, it's K-Dot Nation, baby. Chris Rindolph, we're gonna have to change your mind. But then this was the big surprise. Isaiah Parente, or IGP as he had on his board. So we have Tuxie and IGP. Man, he put out the Boo. He said that his favorite was the Boo, Andrea Bocelli. And I was like,
what a cultured young man. What a cultured young man.
Can you imagine Isaiah like in the dressing room, like just listening to his Andrea Bocelli and
that opera voice?
Like, yeah, just getting ready. Oh man, like I'm jealous. And then we had Marco Reus, who had his favorite artist right here, and exactly. Rammstein, exactly. Now, I got to agree with them on this one. Let's see.
Yeah, let's pull it up. Let's pull it up.
Let's see who Marco Reus chose.
Oh, damn, Arquitekto Verbal. Hell yeah, dude.
He's
I didn't know he was
favorite
down like
artist.
That.
Oh, he gets down
like that. Shoot.
Marco Reus can crip walk. You didn't know about that, but he'll show you.
Arquitekto the boom bap.
La Cuna Galaxiana season 4 intro. Yes, La Orbita incoming. Right on. Good choice, Marco Reus. Guys, let's get through a little news, and then we'll bring on Big Arc himself. Congrats to the World Cup bound G's, Aaron Medina, Vicente Garcia, and Max Steelman. After a 1-1 tie with the Dominican Republic, they finished top of their group of the CONCACAF qualifiers. Now they qualify to the U17 World Cup in Qatar. Congratulations to those G's. I know they're going to represent in a big way. Once a G, always a G. It seems like every year we say goodbye to Gino Vivi. He goes on loan.
Yeah.
This year it's to the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We already knew about this because Damian Calhoun had reported on this, but now it's official. This one happens through November 30th, 2026. And then closing up with our news here, there was one final scrimmage match for the LA Galaxy. That was a closed-door scrimmage against RSL. It ended 3-3. Joseph Painso, Joao Klauss, and Justin Hack get the goals here.
Wow, Justin Hack on the score sheet. Beautiful.
Yay. However, some things that you don't want to see, of course, we didn't see it, but Greg did call it out in the presser today. He said the two of those goals came off of giveaways. He said that they won the ball and then give the ball right back. Clearly disappointed in what he saw in those goals. But despite that, to close out preseason, per the Podfather and Corner of the Galaxy, who put these stats together, they went 3-1-1 with 3 shutouts, 15 goals scored, and 7 goals allowed in preseason. And then Josh was calling this the tan boot, but I think I like the golden chancla a little bit more. So preseason is
golden chancla la pulga.
yeah, exactly. Golden chancla for preseason is Gabriel Peck with 3 goals. So
I like
Galaxy fans, you know what, man? Like I'm trying to turn it the other way around, because as a kid I was so scared of La Chancla. Now I'm trying to make it a force of good, you know. So for the golden chancla with 3 goals. But yeah, geez, that's it, y'all. That's preseason done, dusted. Ya se acabó. It's realsies.
Yep.
It all counts now. And again, that's why it's officially season 4. And with the new season comes a new title track, new heat. And you know who it is? The man who always brings the fire. It's our pleasure to introduce and drop the season 4 theme song titled La Orbita. And then right after, we'll bring on the wordsmith himself, Big Arquitekto Verbal. Vamos a escuchar. Stay with us.
Dropping in 3, 2, let's go. Season 4.
Yeah. Let's get it started with a new year, new me. Cuna Galaxiana still reporting on the news feed, yeah. And you know who it be, the 6 stars from the jersey, putting work in the league. Word on the street, we rip teams immaculately. We see the players come and go, but I'm forever a G. And you can catch me yelling tactics on the field when I leave. Get it together like I'm Vanny when I'm giving a speech. Back to the pitch, score goals, dribbling tricks. I heard a transfer window rumor, let me see who it is. I got statistics on the player, puzzle pieces that fit. Con este show que es tan bilingüe que tu papi lo ve. Rápido pues, hablando de este club otra vez. En las buenas y en las malas, we got love for the crest, love for LA. Let's get it started, light up the stage. Every week on Monday night I'm tuning into the place. Yeah, you know what it is. It's La Cuna Galaxiana, 4th season, Rabananda. And my name, ya te lo sabes.
Yeah, I told Big Arc, like, I gotta get up in the studio with him, man. I'd have been like all over that, man. That'd have been fire.
I need
it's heat, man. It's heat. From the moment he shared like the snippet with us, and he's like, "This is what I'm thinking." I was like, "Yes." Like I remember he just sent us like, "Oh, this is the rough track," and then I was like, "Damn it." It sounds like it's there already, son.
I just like how he changes it up like every season. We're just like, hey, Ark, help us out, man. He's like, all right. And then he just drops like fire over a text message. I'm like, no, I'm cool with that. Run with it. Like I don't even need to say anything. Like let the man create. Let creators create.
Yeah, man. It's always just like, I'm thinking this, and it always hits, man.
All right, let's bring him on. We got to talk to him about this.
Please welcome back to La Cuna Galaxiana, like I mentioned, our very first ever guest, friend of the show, friend in life, and a vato who I really hope will remember us when he picks up his first Grammy. Big Arquitekto Verbal. Welcome back, Papa.
What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Hey, we shout out to everybody in the chats. Like I'm seeing everybody going crazy. Like that's what's up.
Yeah, man. It was
That's
well. I
gas.
mean,
It's gas, just like G Camp said. This is straight gas.
yeah,
Yeah,
man.
thank you guys.
It was hitting, man. Like I said, from the moment you shared what you were thinking with us, we were like, yeah. Just that's the one. That's the one. So you hit it, man. I mean, you're on another plane right now, bro. Like, I mean, like I said, you hit it right there with that one. But so, I mean, I wouldn't. I'm not going to ask you how you are because I already know how you are. I mean, you got to be feeling really nice, like dropping that track. But instead, I'll ask. I met your brother the other day, and he shared with me that he works with you on some music and stuff like that. So, what was your and your carnal's thought process as you were creating this one, man? Like, what was going through your head?
I mean, like he's the music engineer, so he's the one that usually like fixes all the vocals and does everything like that. But when you guys told me like, "Hey, we need a new track," I was like, "I know exactly what you guys want." Like, I know that you guys were a big fan of "Right at the Tailgate," and it's been hard to fucking top that song. It's been really hard to top that song. So I kind of got inspired from "Let's Pull from the Salsa." So there you go.
Yeah,
Mm,
good
he
sample.
pulled
Really
from
good
the
sample.
salsa.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
good
just put
sample.
from the salsa.
Yeah,
Those are
no,
usually my favorite samples to go by. The Latino sounds, and
Oh yeah.
the last one that I pulled, from the season 3 intro, which was Bossa Nova, and I know like when you guys said this is the last time we're gonna hear it, I was like, damn, like that's one of my favorite tracks. I
I
I,
Hey,
I
you know
I
what?
know.
listen to that all
You
the
know what?
time.
Zuniga agrees with us, man. No hate, all love. I really like the previous song. Maybe you just need to get used to it. You know what? You could still enjoy the previous song because now that's the background music for Rob's new Minuto de la Mañana series. So we still have it in there. So you can still enjoy that.
All
Yeah,
right.
no, that like I said at the top of the show, there's been so many times where I've just been like having kind of a crummy day or I've been tired or whatever, and I've had that minute with a theme song before the show to kind of like get my head right. So no, that one's sticking around.
It's a
Don't
different
even
vibe
don't even sort
for
of
sure. It's a
yeah,
different
yeah,
vibe.
that one's great. Before I forget, Big Art, spit those socials at us and tell us more about the show you got going on, man.
Yeah, it's Arquitecto_Verbal on everything, SoundCloud, YouTube, wherever you guys find your music, I'm right there. And what was your other question? I'm sorry, bro.
I'm gonna pull up the flyer
Oh, the show.
right
Oh,
here.
the
Yeah, the
show, the
show.
show. Yeah, so we got a show on March 6th. NY Salah. He's coming for the first time to the United States. He's a rapper from Spain. So if
Oh,
Oh,
you know
nice.
if you guys never heard Spanish rap like from Spain, like they get down, bro. So it was just an honor like to be able to get a spot on that show. So it's a good time. There's also going to be rap battles in there. So there's a few rap battles going on in there. It's all Latino artists, all Spanish hip hop. A lot of
hey.
these guys are coming from all over the place, Mexico, South America, Central America. So it should be a really good mix.
Vamos.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds great, man. Like, you know, I do enjoy just going down that rabbit hole on YouTube of seeing like freestyles and stuff like that,
Oh
and seeing
yeah.
these battle raps, dude. Like these battle raps get crazy, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I actually have a battle rap out there. I did battle at one point, but then I kind of realized, oh no, it's not for me. I let me stick to writing. Yeah, it's a little too intense.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like the stuff I've seen, they get like real aggressive with it and stuff like that, and I'm like, it probably wouldn't be for me either. Like I'm more your speed. Like,
Hey, but
I'm
sticking
just
to the
gonna,
writing, sticking to the
Yeah,
writing
yeah,
has served you well, sir.
yeah,
yeah.
man.
It's been a long
You
road,
killed it. Oh no, bro. Like I was, you were off stage, and I mentioned, I don't know if you heard, but I was telling Ananda, you have deeper in your discography that more sensitive kind of more chill type vibe, like Nujab's vibe, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I'm trying to put them on, man. So let us know what we got to listen to.
Yeah, no, it's interesting that you brought up new jobs because my first EP, the very very first one I did, it was all using new jobs beats. So like there's an Arquitecto album out there with new jobs beats. That was the very
Hell yeah.
first one, and then after that it was just I really like drawing more from like jazz beats, and then like I said later down the road I kind of started incorporating a lot more of like Latino sounds. and flipping it in Spanish and English and becoming dual language. Like that's the other
Yeah.
alias I go by. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we first met years ago, man, and I did a story on you and stuff like that. It was definitely Arquitekto Verbal duo language. Rocking heavy at the time, man, and it's crazy. Después de todo, papá, mira dónde estamos. Look
Yeah.
at that.
4 years later.
4 years later, bro, and you know what? It's crazy because 4 years later we're still here, man, and still running each other at Galaxy stuff. And recently we saw each other at the CVI.
Right.
It was not a great day. The Galaxy copped their loss that day. It's like the one day that the fans were out there in full force. They copped the loss 3-2, right? But despite that loss, right? What did you think about what you saw that day?
Oof. The one thing I could honestly point out, I felt like the team was very discombobulated in defense, and that was something I did not want to see. I saw how they were scrambling to get the ball. All of them were attacking at the same time. It didn't look as good as I thought they would look, but it's a fresh team. They're barely getting to know each other, and there's gonna be time for them to grow, and I think that's the most important thing I saw when I watched them live that day. Other than that, Peck is Peck, and he should be able to score. And Klaus and Peck connecting was really interesting. He scored the goals and everything, but it was an interesting watch, definitely, to see the defense not hold down as much as I thought they should.
Yeah, but you know what? You mentioned Klaus. This was big, right? Like I didn't expect
yeah.
him to be that big.
Zlatan size. Yeah,
he's
size.
And is he deceptively as fast as a big guy in person than when I'm watching it? Like he's not slow. He's not clunky.
He's
not slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not slow at all. But yeah, Hack is pretty tall too.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think Charles Boehm said that they tried to get beefier. And so we were like,
Yeah.
I was like, right on. Yeah. So no, they did have beef, man. I mean, like they added Glesnes, they added Klaus, they added Justin Hack. There's some real. I mean, yeah, it's accurate. They got beefier, bro. Like
it's that aerial threat.
Yeah.
The aerial
yeah,
threat.
exactly.
That's what they needed.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not going to get bullied as much now. We do have a super chat from our friend Ish Garcia. Muchas gracias, Juan Anena super chat.
Thank you, man.
Shout out to Ishi, South Central G's right there in the house.
There you go.
South Central G's in the house. Presente. Sunday is going down. Sunday's going down, y'all. All these G's coming around from all these different places.
Yeah,
it's gonna be beautiful.
Real quick, Rob, speaking of Sunday, I want to get this out of the way first because I saw this earlier. I pinned this. Coldest Summer says, hey, friends, we're doing a giveaway over at the Galaxy Family Discord. 2 tickets for the season opener for grabs. Love. Cheers, y'all. There you go.
Hey.
There you go.
Go ahead and hit that up, man. 2 tickets for the home opener. I mean, why would you not go check it out, man? Big Arc, how do you feel about the upcoming season, man? Like, are you optimistic? Are you kind of looking at the plantel, the roster, and maybe you're not feeling great with it, or maybe you're optimistic about the season? Where are you at?
I definitely feel optimistic about this team. Obviously, like Ricky Pooch not being here, like it changes the whole dynamic of the team.
Right.
But I can see them playing a different style and figuring this out. This is going to be the year that's going to prove, whether Ricky is going to stay with us. And if he doesn't, if something happens and he doesn't stay with us, like this is going to be the team that we're going to have for a while. And so we got to get used to the way they play. So I'm feeling like it's going to take about a few months of them adjusting after I think what I saw at CVI. But they definitely have a lot of players in different positions that are doing great things, like Harbor Miller. Like I really like Harbor Miller. I think he's such a dope player to have, and to have Hack being able to play in the center defense middle and as a center back if needed. We have players in every position. I think that if Greg Vanney manages to find the players that he needs and to put on the pitch, I think this Galaxy team could be unstoppable.
Who's the newbie you're most looking forward to seeing? And you can throw in Nascimento in there as well, because he got re-signed, so we'll count him.
Okay, I think Klauss. Like I'm really interested in seeing Klauss play, because like I said, the day that I was there, like I saw him, being able to give the assist and score the goal. And I think in the attack, like that's going to be very important, his role in whether he's assisting or scoring. Like if he can manage to do both of those things, I think we're in the clear. I think the Galaxy can do big things with Klauss.
Yeah, I think his underrated his hold up play is underrated. His back to goal,
Yeah.
Sure.
And he's a big target. Like we haven't even exploited putting in delivery and service for him from the outside or from the wing.
Not at all.
I forgot where I heard this, but like it might have been the show that you did with Edgar, Rob, where Edgar was talking about how in St. Louis, John Nelson and Joao Klauss really had a good connection before Klaus's injury. And so like that's something that like I didn't even think about, right? So yeah, man, I'm excited to see Klauss too. I think he's underrated, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of Galaxy fans. I don't think he's living up to that DP tag.
Brother Lex is talking about the depth of this team right here with this comment here. The depth of the squad is more than we've had in a long time. Cuevas, Aude, Nelson, Garces, Yoshida, Nasi Sanabria, Tommy Royce, Ramirez, Lepoli, Prente, Miller off the bench. That's crazy to me, because last year on occasion there were games where Greg, and no shade at all, right? But there were moments where literally all he had in the on the bench was like Elijah Wander and Azar Parente, right?
Yeah.
And now he can call on, all these, like he can call on Sanabria, or he can call on Eric Tommy, or he has so many more options now, and it's a good problem to have. You talked about your worry about this defense being discombobulated, Big Arc. Is that your biggest concern for this team this year?
Yeah, I think it, that was what, they said that they brought in defenders because that was our biggest problem last season. We were letting in a lot of goals. And so if we're spending all this money on defense and we're still letting in goals, I find that to be a big problem for the Galaxy. I think that this year there should be less goals. And if Hack, Glesnes, Yoshida, Cáceres can't get it together, it's going to be a problem, because we can outscore a team all day. But if we're letting in goals, that's I think one of our biggest issues.
Yeah, no, there's got to be a marked difference between this year and last year, right? Especially with Glesnes, who gave up, I believe, 34 goals with the Union, and then Justin Hack, who gave up, I believe, 44 with NYCFC. There's got to be an improvement there. I just to piggyback off what Lex was saying, you see the depth in the back line, right? Being able to say, okay, well, who is your first choice center back? Is it pairing? Is it Glesnes and Garces? Is it Glesnes and Hack? Having that problem is a good problem to have. But let's say you go with Glesnes and Garces, right? Then you can either, because presumably then you're playing just in a Hack in the midfield. Then you still have a Mario Yoshida to draw on. You still have a Chris Rindolph to draw on, even though he put Drake as his favorite artist. And then Pepe Magana, I was a big fan. So there is depth there, and so I'm really heartened to see that. I do think they're going to get better in the back.
Well, and if you want to make a deep run in CCC, you have to call upon that depth. There's no other choice.
Exactly.
Like Garces, Yoshida and Royce are not going to play 4 games in 9 days or 10 days. Even guys like Peck and Paintsel, like we can't run these guys into the ground, right? So I think my the thing that I'm going to be looking at that's going to be interesting to me is how does Greg manage the team even in the first 10 days? Like how does he manage it, right? And so we'll talk about it later when we talk about like the lineups and going into the San Miguelito game, but there's some decisions to be made for Greg Vanney, and I think it'll be a test of his mettle early in the season.
Big Art, pregunta. Who, in your opinion, is the player that needs to step up the most this year, or maybe perhaps take the next step? Like you can go either of two ways with it. You can say, this is the player that needs to step up and be the man this year in Ricky's absence, or the player that needs to take that next step.
I think to me it has to be Edwin Cerillo. I think Edwin Cerillo is one of the ones that I honestly, I critique him so much. I think that sometimes Edwin Cerillo is the one that like loses the ball in the midfield all the time. I don't know if I'm just like focused on him all the time, and I'm just like, why is Edwin losing the ball? Like I'm always pissed off watching Edwin Cerillo, and as much like
he
have
lost
like
the ball
one
a couple times the other day.
Yeah, he'll have like one good game and then 3 bad ones, but I don't understand why Greg Vanney doesn't pull him out, but out of the game. But then last season there was not enough players to fill that position. I believe that this season with Luquita Sanabria back, which I also have a lot of faith in, and with Justin Hack playing in the middle, like they're gonna give him a run for his money, and if he doesn't get it together, then he's probably gonna be a bench player. But as much as I love Edwin, I gotta say that he loses the ball in the midfield all the time, bro. So frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, I can't claim that I've sat there and noticed it as much perhaps as yourself, but I did notice it against the Fire that day, that there was a couple of times that Cerillo did lose the ball. And so I was like, that's interesting. I haven't heard those criticisms before. And even by his admission, he was not as good as in 2024. Look for him to, take that next step, or take a step back in the positive direction this year. What would you say is the general vibe amongst the fans right now, man? I mean, you were in a supporter group, you talked to a bunch of people in supporter groups. Are the people optimistic out there? Are they worried?
Everybody just wants to go back home. I think like everybody's ready for this season.
There you go. Good answer.
Everyone's excited that we are in CONCACAF again, and that we're gonna get 3 games back to back at home. So that sounds like a very exciting, after having no soccer, to have this. It's gonna be really good to be home, and I think that's just the feeling that I get from everybody, that let's hurry up the time, let's figure out this time movement, because we need to get to that stadium as quick as possible.
I think everybody's ready for the Digs to be a fortress again, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody wants to win at home, like especially like the championship season. The Digs was a fortress that season. If we can do that again, we're gonna get pretty far. But if we start losing games early and we have to play the catch-up game later, like I said, that's one of my biggest worries for this team.
Don't put that evil on us.
Nah.
No, but it's legitimate though. It's legitimate. You can't play catch up at the very beginning, and then not only that, but imagine they go on like a poor start, like 3-4 losses at the beginning to start again. You start thinking, oh shit, here we go again. And it didn't matter what the player said or Greg said at the beginning of the year. Like towards the end of the year, they finally were letting us know, like, like when we were in that run, like it was getting to us. I mean, Diego told us that there were nights that he couldn't sleep and he would be watching film at 4 a.m. in the morning, so it's like it does get to you. So they got to get us off to a good start. They got to psychologically show themselves like, this is us. We can do this.
Yeah. And even in game 1, right, guys, like we saw how the first game, even just one game, I know it's only one game, but just the first game alone is a tone setter for the rest of the season. 2024, we should have beat Inter Miami at home, right? If it wasn't for Messi Magic, like that should have been a 1-0 game, along with a red card that shouldn't have happened. And then last year, everyone, myself, Rob, everyone on this podcast and others that we've been on, like we were like, this is a walk in the park, right? This should be a routine 2-0 win at home, and then we absolutely get gut punched, like we get slapped in the face, and that was a tone setter going the other way. So we might be overblowing it a little bit, but I think there's something to be said about setting the tone early, right? Especially in game one.
Yeah, especially this team. This team needs to set it. Like, you know.
Like I said, they got to show themselves, right? Because obviously last year they didn't. What's it called? So there was the inevitable MLS pundit drop, guys. The predictions were handed down. Here is the predictions. So MLS pundits have the Galaxy finishing as high as 4th. Nobody put them higher than 4th. And then also as low as 12th. No surprise here. That was Max Britos.
No comment.
I like Max. He's a nice guy. I've said that plenty of times. But we know why you picked 12th, Max. Come on, this is not even it's not even the appearance of transparency here. Like, we know what's up with your 12th pick, man. I mean, that's that homerism, that good old fashioned homerism. But anyway, we digress. Most of these pundits have the Galaxy around the 4th to 6th place range. MLS.com has them at 5th. There are a couple outliers, like Dax has them in 7th. Bruno Vine has them in 10th. And then, of course, like we said, Max in 12th. Michele Giannone has them in 7th. But generally, most of these pundits have them in that middle of the pack range.
Automatic playoff team.
Yeah, automatic playoff team. I myself called a 6th place range yesterday, or I believe it was yesterday on that podcast with Edgar Nags. Big Art, Ananda, do you guys agree with these predictions here? Big Art, we'll start with you. Do you think in the 4th to 6th place range is fair?
Yeah, I think it's fair. A 4th to 5th, like anything under 6, I don't believe. I think this team has the ability to finish top 4 for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna pull up this graphic. So this is MLS just released this in terms of Western Conference predictions. So they have the Galaxy at 5th, and honestly, like, I am right there with them 100% on the dot. Like, I feel like on paper now, not seeing any games, and of course games are never played on paper. This is a dangerous game that we're playing, but I only can see 4 teams right now that are better than the Galaxy, and it's those 4 that are listed on the paper: LAFC, Vancouver, San Diego, and Seattle. And even Seattle, I still think they're a better team than the Galaxy, even though they've lost Obed Vargas, which is a huge loss for them, by the way. That's going to be an interesting one. But Seattle always, like, well-coached team, good players, always brings through young players in the academy and et cetera. So they always have a very stable team. But yeah, other than that, like, I'm right there with them. Like I told you earlier this year, Rob, we're going to be competing against Austin, Minnesota, Portland, those for like the 5th, 6th, 7th spot. So I am 100% in line with this prediction.
I personally think that Portland will do much better than they have them here. But that's just a personal opinion. We do have a super chat. Brother Lex, thank you so much. He says, in your opinions on paper, what's the biggest gap in the roster to be considered contenders? Swap Nasi for a U22 Cam 10 in the summer. Yeah, I would say that's exactly where we're lacking, like a legitimate everyday 10. Like Royce, Greg said today, like he has a particular skill set that is invaluable to this team. But let's face it, he's not an everyday player. Like Greg also said that he had to be managed in the right way. His minutes, the amount of minutes that Royce would have to play this year to be considered like, an everyday player is too much, So for me, yeah.
So basically what you're saying is the biggest gap in the roster is Ricky Pooch.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but I mean,
like that's basically. But no, I'm saying this like in like a matter of fact way. That's literally what this comes down to.
Sure,
Literally,
but they
right?
could have
like imagine Ricky on this team.
out. Yeah, no, sure, but they could have gone out and instead of signing Joao Klauss, getting that 10, that U22 or DP 10, and then figuring something else out for striker, right? They didn't do that. They went the other way. So for me, it is a 10, and either way, it's Ricky wouldn't be a U22 Cam. He's Ricky Puig. He's the Galaxy's 10, but he's not a U22 10. That's what I think they actually need in the stopgap until Ricky comes back, because we've already seen that the Galaxy can't be so one-dimensional that they can only rely on Ricky. There's got to be somebody that can spell him even when he comes back in 2027. And if that's a U22 10, then awesome. Who better to learn from than Ricky Puig, right?
Yeah. What do you think, Ark?
I mean, how many other camps does this team actually have? Like, other than Royce, in
my opinion, none.
Well,
Exactly.
Greg said that Eric Tommy can play there, like he's played there before, so, but nobody's a native number 10, like a native Cam,
So that is a big problem. Like, I think the Galaxy's biggest problem is in the middle. I feel like Greg Vanney has all these defensive middles, but no attacking middles. So if Royce goes out, who else do you play there? Like that, and that's just been my issue with this team, for a while. After we saw Ricky go down, and then we try to play Royce, and Royce does what he can, but his age, and then he also has his injuries, and it's if we don't have Royce, he can't play 90 minutes, right? So. And if he does, he could only do it for certain games. So who else is there? So I think that is a big issue. Maybe Klauss can try to fit that role as like a fake 10, a false 10, but that's, other than that, we don't have another 10. And that's a big problem to have.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead, Ananda.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I think, well, we'll get to, I have an idea of how we could solve that problem, and I think Greg gave us a little bit of a clue in the last game against St. Louis, but let's get that when we get there. But I think there is a solve, and he tried it against St. Louis, and maybe it might be a formula, who knows, but I think it solves that problem. But yeah, it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem.
You're gonna have to share with us. That was a great super chat, brother Lex. Thank you so much for that one. Also, he says, did we shout out Julian Araujo for his big moment with Celtic? He got the game winner the other day. Shout out to big Julian, lawn poke in the house, MRFers. So yeah, good on him for getting that game winner. Anyway, so these pundits are pretty much hating. I don't think it's going to be as bad as some of these guys think, but yeah, some of these guys are clearly hating. Most of them have the Galaxy in that 4 to 6 range, which is a playoff team, which is what which is what we've been claiming. But hopefully they take the disrespect and they use it. And then starting this Thursday, February 19th, when they take on Sporting San Miguelito. That's right, everybody. We have gotten to the point in the program where we give you your LA Galaxy game preview. They will be heading off to Panama to take on Sporting San Miguelito at Estadio Universitario FS Penonome, which is also Estadio Universidad Latina, in the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions Cup, first round. Now, this stadium is a smaller stadium, like we mentioned. Only 3,500 people fit in this one. So this big, imposing atmosphere shouldn't be a problem for the Galaxy. But I don't really know the stadium itself. Hopefully, it's not one of those stadiums that is a smaller stadium, but it just feels really on top of you. This one's set to kick off at 5 p.m. This will be the first time these teams are playing against each other in their history. Guys, Charles Boehm, who was a down dude, and I've decided we're gonna invite him to the cookout, and so got Carlos Boehm now. He talked about how this could be a banana peel game for the Galaxy, or as it's known around these parts as a trap game.
Trap game.
Do you guys agree? Or do you guys think maybe the G's have too much quality to let it get that far? Big Arc, what do you think? Is this something to be worried about?
Oh, absolutely. Anytime, CONCACAF, you're flying, you're going down to another place you're not familiar with. And I did hear that. I saw that in the super chat that they're going to move this game to a bigger stadium because maybe I heard something about the field not being well or whatever. So that's already sounds like a trap to me. So, it's definitely ones to look out for. If there's one thing I do want this year is for Galaxy to win CONCACAF, I'd be pretty much happy if that was the one thing that actually went down this season.
We're traveling, man.
Yeah, I would love to see them win CONCACAF and then get them to
see in the final. See in the final.
That's the one. That's the one I want. I'm every time they're in CONCACAF, I say the same thing. That's the one I want. I want to see them in the Mundial de Clubes. So
that would be lovely, man. Well, let's not open a can of worms because by all intents and purposes that should have been the Galaxy in the Mundial de Clubes, but we digress. We will not get into that. Anandita, ¿qué piensas, man? You've had a couple more days to think about it. Carlos Boehm talked about this, man. Trap game, yes or no?
It's definitely a trap game on paper, but the thing is that the mentality has to be right. And I think though, think about this for a second, Rob. Like, there's a lot of guys in that team that went up and got their chance in Herediano last year in Costa Rica, right? Guys like Harvey Miller, Mauricio Cuevas. I can't remember who else played in that game. There's a lot of sort of, fringe players that got their chance. I want to say maybe Tucker played in that game. I can't remember now. But they're now 1 year more experienced, right? They've had a whole season. They've played against teams in the League's Cup. They've played in teams in CONCACAF Champions Cup. It's a 1 year under their belt. So I think that's got to count for something. And I think the mentality now going into this game is going to be a lot different than last year. I don't think the Galaxy are going to be as naive as they were maybe last year. Like, what was it, Rob? Like, last year was the first time the Galaxy were in CCC in how many years? Like, right? So maybe it's like another year. It's like 1 year of experience now. And maybe they kind of know how to handle these situations. Again, at first 15, 20 minutes of the game will be interesting to see like how the G's react to the elements right in this game, whether it's pitch conditions, weather, humidity, crowd, all those are going to go against them. So I hope to see, and we're going to need lineups later, but I hope to see a mix of experience and youth there in the lineup.
Yeah. You called it all these outside factors for this game, but let's not forget that Sporting San Miguelito is in first place right now. They're only 5 matches into their season, but they are in first place. They have been playing pretty decent soccer. They're 2-1-2 right now on 8 points, 6 goals, 4 against. It's a +2 goal difference. They scored 6 goals in the last 5 matches, while only conceding an average of 0.8 goals per game. Only 1 loss in the first 5. So they're playing pretty decent soccer. They're at least on by the results they're putting up, not slouches by any means. Head coach David Doniga has the team achieving at least a 50% win rate across the 16 matches that he's been in charge. Good enough for 1.75 points per game. So again, this isn't a bad team. Take the pitch conditions out of the equation, take the travel out of the equation. This is a pretty decent team to begin with. And then Lex said they're young and athletic. They also have nothing to lose against these opponents, right? They want to go out and kill the giant, and be, can you imagine the headline the next day if they slew the mighty LA Galaxy, right? They'd be, I don't know if heroes in Panama, but they would definitely be all over the news for sure, right? So not only are they a good team, then you add in all the extraneous factors, and then you add in the belief factor, right? Which is, they're going in there with nothing to lose, but then they've also been on a good run. The last match they played in was they got an 87th minute winner from their leading scorer at the moment, Joe Badia, giving them a huge emotional lift before they see the Galaxy at an 87th minute winner, bringing the team together. And before that, even, they found a tie in the 90th minute on the road in the match before that to tie that match 2-2. So that's a game tying match in injury time, a game winner 3 minutes before full time, just before they have to play the Galaxy, where they really can say no F's given, can just forget about everything and just go and try to slay the Giant. Yeah, that's a dangerous team, man. That's a trap game if I ever saw one, for sure.
Yeah, it's a trap game. I don't know, but still, come on, 64th ranked team in CONCACAF. Are you really telling me that these guys on paper should have any shot against the Galaxy for a
not
team
on paper?
That spends as much as the Galaxy for
not
the team?
On paper.
We've been raving about the depth of this squad in the chat, right? This should be no contest. So you talk about mentality and going to the game, being hungry and wanting to. The Galaxy should have that mentality. Hey, you should not be in this game. We should absolutely pummel you in this game and just exert our dominance on you. That's the mentality that these Galaxy players should have. They can't show enough respect. Honestly, they should hold no prisoners. This is that type of game. We can't go into this game like we did last year in Costa Rica with that certain level of naivety. We have to exert our dominance. 64th place team in CONCACAF, man. Come on. On paper, if you talk to anyone outside of the Galaxy here, they're come on, this should be a walkover, right? But I know what you're saying though. But I'm just saying, the golfing class, there's no excuses in this game.
See what they've done to me, Big Arc. See how they have me acting out in these streets right here. Well, but I know that we talked earlier today, and then something that was worrying you was the amount of injuries perhaps that this Galaxy team has. Chris Rindov is out. Eric Tommy is out. Isaiah Parente is out. Elijah Winder was Josh lists him as questionable here, but I thought I heard Greg say that Elijah was out as well. We'll verify that, but at the very least, he's questionable. Good news is that John Nelson is available. Aduso Cuevas is available, giving Greg that option there. But honestly, with the players that are out, I'm not too worried, Big Arc. Who's your biggest miss there? I mean, who had you so worried that you let us know?
Eric Tommy. I mean, we just got him. How does he have an injury this fast? I thought that we would use Eric Tommy in this CONCACAF. I wanted to see him play. And it was interesting because that day that we were at CVI, he didn't play either. So I think he might have just came into the squad injured. So I think that's one of my worries.
Do we know what it is, Rob? Do we know what kind of injury, and did Greg give a timetable on it?
Greg told me on the Saturday. I would have to go back and look at the tape, but the reason I'm drawing a blank on it is because he was telling me about Mauricio, and he was when he was telling me about Mauricio and his injury, he was kind of what was it? Was it the knee? Was it he couldn't remember himself, right? So while he was in his, was it the knee? Well, then he started talking about Eric Tommy, and then I missed what he said that Eric Tommy had. I believe it was knee as well, but I could be wrong. Anyway, we're gonna have to check the tape on that. Fortunately, we do have the footage on this one, so we can verify this one. But I just don't know right off the top right now. But yeah, I'm not too worried about Eric Tommy not being in this one, just because by all intents and purposes, Marco Reus is, and I know we're not gonna be able to rely on him in every game, but I think he should be good for, at the very least, the Thursday match and the home opener. Let's hope, knocking on wood. But yeah, no, I don't see a huge worry there. And then to add kind of insult to injury, Sporting San Miguelito has no one missing. They're fully healthy, fully stocked from top to bottom, which leads us into our predicted starting 11s. Ananda, since I went first last time, does that mean that you go first?
No, because your lineup is on the screen first. So you get to go first, Papa.
Okay.
See how that works?
Yeah, you just kind of decided for me.
Yeah.
Joao Klauss up top, obviously. Then you have Painso and Royce Painso and Peck on the wings. Royce there in the middle. Serio and Hack there kind of as the dual holding. Garces and Glesnes in the middle, and then Aude and Yamane as your wing backs there. Sorry, not wing backs, fullbacks there, and Mitrovic in goal. And the reason I went Aude Yamane is because there's always got to be that balance, right? Yamane is the more conservative fullback there, so Aude is going to have a little bit more license to get forward. And that's my
pretty strong lineup there, Rob. What do you think, Ark?
I think this is it. This is the one I think we saw at CVI the day that we were there with Rob, and this one seems to be the correct one on paper. But like I said, when I saw them play on the field, they had a lot of mistakes in defense. So hopefully they got it together by then.
Yeah, so this would be a boring show if I agreed with both of you, right? So I had to disagree at some point. But thank you to Joe13 Cool in the chat, because it looks like he is reading my mind. He says, I don't know if I want to see Royce in Panama. Got to protect them knees, but who else do we have at 10? So I actually thought about, so this is like the thing, right? Like I thought about how Greg is going to manage his squad over the next 10 days. I mean, again, 4 matches. There's a lot riding on it. So I took some cues from the last game against St. Louis, and this is my starting 11. And hear me out. I'm just going to say it for the audio listeners. Mitrovic in goal, Aude, Hack and Garces as a center back partnership, Mauricio Cuevas at right back, JP and Peck as the left and right mid, Serio and Sanabria in a 2-man midfield, Klauss and Nasi up top. So hear me out. Here's a couple of my reasonings for this. One is I think the travel on older guys like Marco Reus, like even Jakob Glesnes, although he is an Iron Man, but we've got to wrap that guy in cotton wool, especially for the league. And Maya Yoshida, like, will they travel? Probably, maybe, but I just don't know if we like, do we really need to put Marco Reus in a 10 against a 64th place team in CONCACAF? Like, that's my thing, right? Like, I want him fresh and sharp and fit. Like, if he needs a run out, sure, give him 10, 20, 30 minutes, however long he needs to build his fitness, fly back safe, hopefully like no niggles and naggles, and he's ready to start against NYCFC. And I look at like players like Mauricio Cuevas, for example. Again, I'm going to go with youth. I'm going to go with energy. Like, we need to stamp our authority in this game, and one of the ways to do that is energy. Rob, I talked about this last match against St. Louis City SC. That 4-man press, when we did a 4-2-4 with the 4-man press on top, we turned St. Louis over twice. That led to 2 of our goals. And you know what? Like Klauss, Nasi, again, Klauss is an underrated presser from up top. Nasi, bags of energy. You've got Paintsel and Peck up there. I mean, we need to suffocate the crap out of Sporting San Miguelito. And for me, this 4-2-4, when we press like that with Serio and Sanabria, 2 very able sort of mobile bodies. And again, Serio's suspended, right, for NYCFC. So he's definitely going to get the start at 6, and then probably Hack to partner with him, and then pull Glesnes back in that center back rotation against NYCFC. So look, and you know what? I'll throw another thing in here. I would not be shocked or even mad if Greg goes with Harbor Miller as one of the left mids or right mids instead of Paintsel or Peck. Again, going with that youthful energy, that pressing, you can't understate that, especially in a game like this.
Look, Blood, I'm gonna tell you how the horse told Powder Toast Man on Ren and Stimpy. No, sir, I don't like it. I mean, I don't think Greg likes it either. I mean, we've seen.
Sure about that? He deployed in a whole game against St. Louis City. I think right now all the priors are gone now. All the priors are gone.
However, he did say that he had tried things in preseason that he wasn't really a fan of and that we probably wouldn't see again. So I'm not sure if that includes that 4-4-2 that he tried for, one game. But how long have you been covering this Galaxy team, right? And you're the one who always says Greg is risk adverse. He's not going to go out there for the first match of the season and play an unfamiliar lineup when they have to get off, again, by your own admission, when you say like they have to get off on the right foot. Like, I just don't see him playing an unfamiliar lineup, in the first match of the season. Like, I'm not really mad at your personnel per se.
Let me throw you this hypothetical. Royce plays 70, 80, 90 minutes against Panama. Does he start against NYCFC? Do you start him?
It also depends what's going on in that match. Is there a reason to play him 70, 80, 90 minutes in Sporting San Miguelito? If the Galaxy's winning like 3-0, why just take him off in the 60th, right? Like, I hear what you're saying. I just don't see Greg doing it. I just don't. He's too risk adverse. I mean, he's not as adventurous as to go out there and say, F it, first game of the season. Let's see what happens. Like, see, you remember how long it took him to try something similar versus last year in the league? We finally got it against NYCFC, and look what happened. That's 7-0. And then he even told us in the presser, like, he said something to the effect of
that was and when you do it in the middle of a 16-game winless streak, that's I think that you're playing with fire there. But this is completely different. Like, I don't know. We'll see who's wrong and who's right, but this is a good debate to have. And this is like the fact that, by the way, the fact that we're having this debate is actually a positive, because this is now where Greg gets tested in his mettle. This is where the Galaxy fans can assess if Greg is the manager for this team or not. The different looks, you've talked about it, Rob, that you've even said it earlier in previous pods, like the different looks that Greg Vanney now is able to throw with these different lineups, with the depth that he has in this team. Now he's got to use it because he's in two different competitions in the first couple months of the season, hopefully, right? If I want to see Arc at the final, he's got to count on that depth.
Yeah, no excuses for Greg Vanney, man.
Imagine
Arc. What are you thinking, man? Like, are you more with Rob? Or are you more with myself? Would you be mad with either of these lineups?
No, honestly, I think that for this one specifically, he has enough players to experiment and still come out with the win. So it doesn't really matter the lineup. He can start off with the youth, because honestly, in the game after the CVI versus Chicago, where he played the second team, what he called the second team, I thought that team played better than the first team. So there's no excuse for Greg Vanney on this one. He could actually play any player he wants, and he could have a great team out there. But yeah, save Royce. I think that this is not one for Royce to play. I think if he's gonna play Royce, he should play him at home when San Miguelito comes back. But on the away leg, no Royce. I think they should play with the youth squad, because, like I said, they look so well. They were up and down the field in that game. The B squad plays a lot faster. And so maybe just
hungrier too.
Tighten up the defense a little bit with maybe Galesnes and Garces. I think that would be enough. That'd be enough. And put Nelson instead of Alde to kind of just help out on the wings. Other than that,
not mad at it. Not mad at it.
But I like your lineup with the Bossa Nova ballers, all three of them. Huh?
Yeah, get those Brazilians.
All three of them.
The Bossa Nova ballers.
Build that chemistry early.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not mad at your personnel per se. I just don't think it's going to be that tactical setup.
I don't think he plays with a two striker formation. I don't think he does that.
Well, what it's really going to be is like Nasi's. It's like going to be a 4-4-1-1. I mean, that's how I saw it against Chicago. Like Ramirez and Nasi were kind of playing off of each other. Nasi's really good, by the way, as that second striker. Like he's actually more comfortable in a deeper position. And he's like, Rob called it out when he saw Nasi physically this year. He looks different physically. I don't know if you noticed this.
Yeah, he's a little more,
he's a little more beefier, like using the Will Kuntz term, right? He's a little beefier, which is good. You need that physicality, especially in this tournament.
Yeah, well, let's see what Greg goes with. There was a good comment from Joe 13 Cool saying that, Greg is always the wild card here. Let's see what he does. I mean,
good point.
He does have the ability now to give different looks. Now, let's just see if he's brave enough to actually do that and give the different looks. And because we're used to a Greg that plays the same system, trust the process, right? That's the old adage. So now, and this is just us going off the available data and the available experiences that we have in covering this team. Now we got to see if Greg can retrain us into saying, yeah, we have no idea what Greg's going to go with as a system, because he's been changing it up, so maybe he can retrain us here. But we called out Joe Barria as being the leading scorer for Sporting San Miguelito earlier in the show. 2 goals so far this season. Adrian Betancourt has 1, and Alex Castillo has 1 as well. Of course, these are the leading scorers for a team that's only 5 matches into the season. But they do have Rodrigo Teo, midfielder, who was on the side, in the side last year. He contributed 5 goals to the season. They did lose their 2 top scorers last year that contributed 19 goals between them. So they are missing a little bit of firepower. However, you wouldn't know it by their first place position in the table. Now we're going to go to the important questions, receipts. Big Arc, we're going to start with you.
All right.
For the Galaxy to win this match, they have to ...
defend well.
I like it.
Yep.
Defend well. Ananda, for the Galaxy to win this match, they have to ...
How can I say this?
Don't say it.
Honestly, like I just think they need to be Goliath. That's the best way I can put this. Like they have to be the dominant team in this story, like in this 2-legged affair. Like there's no reason the Galaxy should have any sort of, whether it's inferiority complex, whether it's matching down to the level of their competition. I think we've seen that about this Galaxy team over the past few years. Like they play down to the level of competition. No, like they need to have a dominant sort of start, middle, and finish to the game. You might have moments in the game where, San Miguelito might test us, maybe in like in a counter or something like that. But yeah, we just have to exert our dominance. And like I shouldn't expect anything less than a win, or very, very worst, a draw. But I shouldn't expect anything less than that. Like what we saw last year at Herediano, that's unacceptable to me.
Yeah, I don't disagree, man. I'm gonna take it to the Lion King, and quite simply say, remember who you are. Yeah, they have to just simply go out there, and maybe this is kind of piggybacking off of what you say, man. Remember who they are. Know that they're out there and that they are the favorite. And not favorite because of just their name or whatever. They're on paper, they're a better team. They have more quality. They should win. So they should just go out there, remember who they are, and remind Sporting San Miguelito, remind them early, take them out of there early, and I've brought this example up before, but basically go Kobe through Powell's chest on them real early, and like take that,
no prisoners,
take that will, take that belief out of them early, make it a good 2-3-0 within the first 30, and matalos. But
that'd be nice.
That's what they have to do, right? But no, that dicho a hecho, hay mucho trecho, right? So anyway, that's what we think the Galaxy have to do to win this match. But now let's actually talk about what we think will happen. Now it's receipts for sure. Big Arquitekto, It's your game score prediction. Who will win this one, and by what scoreline?
Chat, drop him in the chat too.
I say it's gonna be a 2-1 Galaxy, and both goals by Peck.
Ooh. Gabriel Peck scores 2 goals in the Galaxy's first game of the season, according to Big Arquitekto Verbal, in a 2-1 win over Sporting San Miguelito. That would be a great story to write. I can't wait if it actually comes true. Anandita, I went first last time, so that obviously means it's you. So go ahead, man. Hit us up with your prediction for this game against Sporting San Miguelito. Miguelito.
Yeah, I'm not too far from Arc. I'm actually going to be a little braver, and I'm going to go 2-0. And the Brazilian score. I don't know which ones, but 2 Brazilians will score the goals.
Douglas Costa? No, not that one. Okay.
You mean Doug? Doug Costa,
Doug,
maybe,
Doug.
but not Douglas.
Doug Costa. Remember when he turned into Doug Costa for a couple of weeks?
Yeah, Doug Costa was pretty good. He wasn't bad. He wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad during that spell. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm along with you guys. I think they do get the win. I think it's going to be a 2 or maybe even a 3-0. I think they will go out there and be real ruthless. I'm starting to come along to your guys' thinking about maybe like Royce might not get the start here. Obviously, like Sirione being available for NYCFC it makes him a virtual lock for this one. So that all influenced this one. But yeah, I think that they do play a pretty strong lineup. Realistically, we were talking about the depth team or the Galaxy starting team. Somebody said in chat, like, realistically, it's probably a mix of both. We probably have, a mix of,
It has to be.
The 3 DPs up top, then we have like a Harbor at one of the fullbacks, but you have like a more experienced midfield. It's going to be a balance. We've talked about the balance a lot. Or I have at the very least. And so, yeah, I think that's what's going to go down. It's going to be a nice mix. And at the end of the day, that mix, that balance gets the Galaxy that 2-3-0 win. And then they get to ride that high into the first game of the season at NYCFC, where I'm going to see both of you in the mosh pit at the Hardcore Show.
Well, you know what I was thinking when you were saying that, Rob? Like, to poke my own argument about the lineup, like you talked about Harbor Miller. The only thing is, I don't know what like the humidity conditions are going to be or like the weather conditions. I'm going to assume that it's going to be hot and humid. So in those conditions, like you can't really press. Like, remember, like Greg didn't even opt to press when it was like felt like 100 degrees in Coachella on Sunday. But then on Wednesday, when it was an overcast, like he decided to do that with the younger guys, right? So I could see him maybe, like, to your point, being risk averse, like him saying, you know what, like in this weather, I'm not going to risk it, right? Like playing a little bit of a pressing game is a little risky. So the elements are going to have more of an impact, I think, than we think. But it'll be interesting, man. Like it's just going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But in any case, I think we're all in agreement. I think chat's in agreement. No excuses. This should be a Galaxy. This should be nothing less than a Galaxy win. Rob, you want to read out some of the predictions?
Dub. 3-0.
Trap.
He Super says 3-0. That's a win. XPH. Big XPH says it's a trap. No. He says Galaxy 3, SM 2. Miguelito. 5-1 G's, baby. God, that'd be great. Can you imagine? 1-1, but valuable away goal. Hey, that's not wrong.
Not the worst.
If
still do away goals?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, like, do they do away goals? I'm not sure. I have to fact check that one. Joe 13 Cole says 2-0 at least. Brother G Cam says 3-0. And then what else do we got? Rally G says 3-1. Hey, I'm not mad at that either. And we do have a super chat to go ahead and wind us down here by the Brother G Cam. He says, Tuyo. Yeah, yay. We're gonna have to sample that one day, Big Arc, and do the La Cuna version.
5.
Season 5. and then like 3 weeks later, season 5 lawsuit by Joseph Payne.
No, man, no. Ark's gonna get Joseph to do his own sample on the backbeat.
Man, I was trying to get a hold of him at CBI. I was like, yo, you should have signed something, and I'm out.
And then you see Arquitekto with JP. It sounds of the what is it called? What do they call it? Sounds of the stage or something at the Galaxy pregame show.
That would be gangster, man.
That would be gangster.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. But until then, we do have the opportunity to see Big Arc at his show on March 6th.
Sorry, let me pull that up again.
Yeah. And you know, we do have another fellow G there as well. So you guys pull up. Pacheco Bates is going to be there as well with Arquitekto Verbal, and you guys got to go show them some love. Big Arc, go ahead and por favor tell the people one more time where they can find you. We thank you so much again for coming on and dropping the new theme music for this year, La Orbita.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it and get to listen to it all season. And I hopefully this season extends as far as possible. We become champions, whether it's CONCACAF, whether it's Liga, whatever. Or we need to win something this year. So, before I go, you guys, I wanna give this out to one of the fans. I'm gonna let Rob and Ananda handle it. He's one of the vinyls. You know, they're clear vinyls, and so you guys do what you guys gotta do when you guys get to 800. Give it out. And I was gonna out to who
y'all heard.
Yeah,
y'all heard. We have a fire vinyl to give out. When we do get to 800, we are 13 away. You guys know what to do.
Yeah, so it's Arquitekto Verbal on everything, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you guys get your music. On Instagram, follow me, give the music a like. You know, I don't get paid for this, but I love doing it, so it is what it is, man.
Hey, you guys pull up, support Big Arc, Arquitekto Verbal at a show on March 6th. Show him some love. I'm a big proponent of supporting live music, but this is one of our own. This is one of our community, and he's always ripping the Galaxy real hard. And he's lucky enough to have him be a friend of this show. Gracias, Papa, for joining us again. And you know what? Let's bring the show on home, right, Ananda?
Let's do it. And you know what? Just in case like people missed it from the beginning, we're gonna replay the song again at the end of the show.
Let's go.
And as part of the outro. So let's get it, Rob. I think we've only got a couple things left to say, right?
Spirit fingers. Yeah. Next on the Somewhat Little podcast, we call it Cuna Galaxiana, on Thursday, February 19th, we'll be reacting to the Galaxy's first Champions Cup matchup along with all of you. It'll be literally a couple of moments after the game concludes. So you'll have us raw and fresh. You'll have either really, really angry Rob, or you'll have really happy Rob. Who knows which way the wind will blow. Then on Monday, February 23rd, it's more of the same as we bring you another match reaction, this time for our NYC FC match reaction that will be covering the Galaxy's first match of the season. So you guys keep it locked here on Thursday, February 19th, the match reaction, Champions Cup, Monday 23rd. That's going to be another match reaction, NYCFC. And then, I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but on the 26th, the great one himself, Joe Tutino, will be here. Yes, so go ahead and keep it locked. We're bringing more fantastic guests tonight. We were lucky enough to have one of our favorites, friend of the show, Arquitekto Verbal, here with us. Pretty soon, we'll be having Joe Tutino. Guys, it's going to be a beautiful season. We can't wait to share it with you. And I think there's only one thing left to say, right?
Yes, sir.
Jesus!
Season 4, let's get it.
Yeah. Let's get it started with a new year, new me. Cuna Galaxiana still reporting on the news feed, yeah. And you know who it be, the 6 stars on the jersey, putting work in the league. Word on the street, we rip teams immaculately. We see the players come and go, but I'm forever a G. And you can catch me yelling tactics on the field when I leave. Get it together like I'm Vanny when I'm giving a speech. Back to the pitch, score goals, dribbling tricks. I heard a transfer window rumor, let me see who it is. I got statistics on the player, puzzle pieces that fit. Con este show que es tan bilingüe que tu papi lo ve. Rápido pues, hablando de este club otra vez. En las buenas y en las malas, we got love for the crest, love for LA. Let's get it started, light up the stage. Every week on Monday night, I'm tuning into the place. Yeah, you know what it is. Es la Cuna Galaxiana, 4th season, Rob Ananda. And my name, ya te lo sabes.